What's going on, everybody? I am Jake, aka Bomber, and you know what? It's been a long week. It's been a long day. I just got home, and we are going to record this bad boy, get it out to you just before this weekend, because the long week at least will have a pay-per-view at the end of it, hopefully to make it better. Impact Wrestling Rebellion is going to be this Sunday. So happy that they're on Sunday, because I get to watch them now. Can't really watch the pay-per-views on Saturday due to my work schedule. So anyway, here we go. Just real quick, I'm not going to put up the graphic like I normally do when I talk about my previous pay-per-view predictions, because WrestleMania had way too many matches to throw in that graphic. So I'm just going to throw it out right now. My record has moved up to a 40-12. I had to look and I was like, wait, how many was it? 40 matches picked correct this year. 12 wrong. I went 9-5 after WrestleMania. It was an uncharacteristically heel-heavy WrestleMania. I think that threw a lot of people off, me included. So, it is what it is. Not a very good outing for WrestleMania, but we're going to keep the ball rolling with good Impact predictions, and we're going to get to them right now. So, Impact Rebellion is this Sunday, and we got 7 matches to talk about. Let's scroll down on the horrible Impact Wrestling website. And starting off, we got the Impact Knockout Tag Team titles. We got Fire and Flava going up against Jordynne Grace, and just revealed on the Go Home show of Impact, Rachael Ellering is the mystery tag team partner that is coming in to team up with Jordynne Grace. Now, it was going to be Jazz. Jazz got retired, and Jazz picked this replacement. And you know what? Usually in these scenarios, you think somebody coming in, kind of making, trying to make a big debut like this, you think you're going to have a big win here, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm really not feeling it. Fire and Flava, they've been running their mouth nonstop. They've been, one of the better heel factions, or tag teams, I guess, not factions. And they really haven't even had the titles that long. They won them on the last pay-per-view. So I'm really not feeling a title change here. In fact, there's not going to be many title changes. A little spoiler coming up, but it feels uncharacteristic to go against somebody trying to make a debut like this. But I wouldn't be surprised if they won them down the road. But Fire and Flava, they really haven't had a good run, and this is the first run as the champions ever since they brought the titles back. So I feel like they want to get a little more oomph out of this title reign. Going over to my trusty cagematch.net. You guys need to use this, by the way. But anyway, the Impact Knockouts titles have only been defended. There was a rematch against Havoc. There was the Jazz and Jordynne Grace, and then there's a GCW show. So really, they've only had a couple title defenses. I don't know, guys. Something about this just smells like a successful title defense to me. Like I said, if they make a story out of this, and maybe, I can see Grace and Ellering winning down the road, perhaps, but I'm not seeing it on the pay-per-view here. So I am going with a successful title defense out of Fire and Flava. I don't know. There may be some kind of a DQ, but the titles are going to stay with Fire and Flava. I am predicting them to get the win here in this match. So moving on up, we got, oh my God, this is a mess. We got Violent by Design against Storm, Sabin, Edwards, and Willie Mack. This has been a clusterfuck of a feud. Oh man, I try to keep the cussing out of this bad boy, but I always fail. This has been a really sloppy feud. I know Eric Young has been hurt. He tore his ACL. I don't even know how this match is going to happen. I don't know if there's going to be a replacement. I don't know really what is going to go down as far as Eric Young goes in this match. I don't know what they're going to do here, but if the match plays out, which I'm not sure if it will, if it does, Impact has really been trying to build Violent by Design up pretty well. I think they have been building them up pretty well, as I should say, and they've been getting the wins when they need them. And you know what? This just looks like just a random assortment of guys that are thrown into this thing. They had a weird brawl to even close out the Go Home show. It was a little weak. I'm not feeling good about this match in general. Eddie Edwards is kind of just floundering. Like, I feel like he needs to get a win. I feel like James Storm needs to get a win. Violent by Design also need to get the win to stay, on top of their, the nasty heels and stuff. But Willie Mack, he's kind of already over. Sabin is just whatever. He doesn't need a win at all at any point lately, but I could see Chris Harris maybe get involved in helping Storm and them win. If he's, I don't even know if he's going to be there. Is Chris Harris? Does it say anything about them? Veteran Harris? I don't even know if Chris Harris is going to be there, but something about this is telling me the faces are going to get the win here. Violent by Design has been kind of steamrolling, and even on the Go Home show, Eric Young got the win over Eddie Edwards, so that was kind of a shocker. I didn't expect that. I'm going to go with the faces here. I'm going to go with Storm, Sabin, and Edwards Mack to get the win. There's too many question marks with Eric Young. He might even get replaced. He might even get I don't know what they're gonna do. This might get even thrown out of, not even count for my prediction, so we'll see. But I'm going with the faces to get the win here because this is gonna be a heel heavy show, I'm guessing. Sami Callihan never wins on pay-per-view, hardly ever, that is. He's in a last man standing match against Trey Miguel here, and the whole story is we've seen this before where it's perfect for the heel to get the win in this situation and make this is a win-win scenario if Sami Callihan can get the win, because Sami gets the win. Trey Miguel in a last man standing match he can look good at the end when he keeps getting up and Sami keeps knocking him down, but he keeps getting up, shows that he's got that fighting spirit. And in the past couple promos, he's not even really saying he's going to win at this point. If you're paying attention to what he's been saying in these promos, he's saying that he's going to go out there and prove how tough he is and all this kind of stuff. So to me, putting 2 and 2 together, getting 10, I'm thinking Sami Callihan gets the win here. A rare Sami Callihan win on pay-per-view against Trey Miguel, but Trey Miguel still looks good, looks tough, looks strong coming out of this match. But you got to at least give Sami a win at some point in time. And maybe this will go on to be, we'll get a final blow-off match where it actually has to be a pinfall or submission. Then Trey Miguel will probably get the win at that point, where it actually has to beat Sami instead of, just being laid out for 10 seconds. Because Sami, there's so many ways that the heel can win in that scenario. So yeah, I'm going to go with Sami Callihan. I said I probably wouldn't pick him ever again on pay-per-view, but guess what? I'm doing it right here, right now. And this is I'm usually a homer because Sami Callihan is one of my favorites on Impact, but this is not a homer pick. I actually really am fully behind of that happening, so I think that's going to go down. So next up, we got Brian Myers versus Matt Cardona. History and popularity would probably dictate that Matt Cardona would win this match. Zack Ryder, you think he was always more popular, always the more sought after guy between these two. Brian Myers, as I hate to say it, but he was the Jannetty of the team. And I think Impact is probably going to give Brian Myers a solid here. I think Brian Myers is going to get the win. Shady tactics were going to be involved. I think it's going to be, like I said, some kind of dirty win. He's been dirty heel this whole time. Matt Cardona, I don't really know. He feels like he doesn't really. He feel like he hasn't like fit in for me yet in Impact. So when he showed up in AEW, he kind of didn't feel like he fit in there either. So I hope he finds his way. I hope he does some good stuff here in Impact. But I'm really feeling like Myers is going to be the guy that they're going to try to go with. At least to push a little bit harder over the two, because they've been giving him wins over Jake something lately, and he's got more momentum behind him here. So I think a win out of Brian Myers is going to be more of that little surprise. Oh, obviously people would think Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, would get the win. I don't see it here. I think they're going with a slight swerve and going with the lower guy here, Brian Myers. And hopefully Brian Myers can get the win and do something cool with it. So there we go. Going with Brian Myers. Scrolling up, we have a triple threat X Division Championship match. Ace Austin defending his title against TJP and Josh Alexander. This match right here, TJP, I give 2% chance to win this match. TJP most likely has no chance to win this. Josh Alexander has a decent chance to win, but I'm going with Ace Austin here. Ace Austin, again, recently won the title, even more recently than some of the others in the company. He really hasn't had, let's take a look at his title reign here. I'm going to keep pushing it. CageMatch.net, guys. It's awesome database. So yeah, Ace Austin defeated TJP to win the title. He defended it against Malcolm Monroe III in some other company. No clue who that was. And then we got TJP getting a DQ win in the title match there. So you got that going on. He really has not done anything with the title. Josh Alexander, I believe, is going to be a guy that they are going to push later. I do believe that. Josh Alexander is very, very, very good, but something about this screams too early here. Josh Alexander got some wins over TJP recently on Impact as well. So he looks like the big number 2 here, but I could see maybe Madman Fulton getting in the way of the 2 big guys because, you know, Josh Alexander is quite a bit bigger than these other 2 here. And maybe these 2 guys kind of butt heads. Maybe Madman costs Josh Alexander. Maybe we get a little mini feud between those 2 while TJP maybe goes against Ace Austin a little bit more. But I'm thinking that Josh Alexander, though has a better chance than TJP, I don't think it's a win here. I think Ace Austin, who is, I think, a very bright future ahead of him, especially in Impact. He is also one of my favorites along with Sami Callihan in Impact. So I'm going with Ace Austin. I think he needs this, and we need another good title reign here out of Austin. By the way, the X Division title has kind of been hot potatoed recently, and it's going to be good to get an actual good reign out of somebody. So we're going with Ace Austin here. So moving on, we got the Knockouts title. Deonna Purrazzo versus Tenille Dashwood with Caleb with a K. I mean, this is super easy, I feel. Yes, Su Yung has been involved a little bit. But Deonna has been destroying everybody in the division. She retired Jazz. She's beat pretty much everybody that stepped up to the plate. So it kind of has me wondering who is going to beat her eventually, but it's not going to be Tenille. Tenille has been floundering. She has lost several matches as of late. She's recently won against Susan, which is, you know, that's not really much of a win at this point because of the character, but not like it was Su Yung. But Tenille Dashwood has not really done much since coming to Impact. This seems like a bit of a random matchup, actually, because she has had little to no momentum going into this match. So that leads me to believe this is going to be another successful title defense for Deonna Purrazzo. Now, does that mean that they are going to, you know, pull a swerve? Could they pull a swerve? I guess so, but it feels super. I just don't. I highly do not see this. I think we get an even longer run out of Deonna. She's been probably the longest reigning champion besides Rich Swann in the company. So I think she keeps it here. I don't know. I'm just not feeling Tenille right now. She's not clicking for me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's a good match though, but I'm going with Deonna, get the win here. So tag team titles here. This one is really got me going against my, you know, my normal prediction. I don't want to say prowess, but my normal prediction instincts, I guess would be the right word. We got FinJuice, the tag team champions, after a shocking win, by the way, defending against the Good Brothers. This is going to be FinJuice's first title defense for the tag team titles. Now, usually I'm a guy that, you know, comes in and looks at that kind of stuff and like, no, they're obviously going to get at least one successful title defense, but, it has been brought to my attention, you know, via the internet community that really FinJuice doesn't have a good track record as champions in general. They won the IWGP tag team titles and lost them without a successful title defense. They're not in Impact, so I don't know if there's any plans on them actually being regulars or doing anything with the titles. I figured they would have done something with them maybe in New Japan as like part of their deal, but they never defended them in New Japan. They're kind of just, I don't understand why they gave them the belts if they're not doing anything with them. So maybe there are plans to do something with them, but I'm going with the Good Brothers here. I'm going with the Good Brothers to get the titles back. It bumps them up to 2-time champs. And that's going to like add into what is going to happen later in the main event, which is coming up next. But I'm going with the Good Brothers because I'll get more into it as we talk about the main event. So, yeah, when I say I go against my normal picks, because I usually would pick the first ever title defense to happen, but it just seems weird that FinJuice is even champions at this point in time. So I don't know. They're not really even representing the tag team titles at all. So in the main event, we got the Impact champion, Rich Swann, going up against Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, and it is title versus title. The winner takes home both titles. Now, on paper, this looks like the most obvious main event outcome ever, right? I mean, why would Kenny Omega lose to Rich Swann as far as popularity, as far as one company is massively dwarfs the other company, and you can't have Kenny Omega is over there defending his title in exploding barbed wire matches. Yes, the ending sucked, but the match before the ending was pretty decent against guys like John Moxley and stuff. And like, I don't want to shit on Rich Swann because I fucking love Rich Swann. Here's me just throwing out the cuss words again, but he's just not in any of those guys' league that Kenny Omega has been facing. It's just, it's a very, very weird dynamic. Rich Swann is not in the same league. I hate to say that, but I think anybody watching this right now would definitely agree. Same way Impact is not in the same league as AEW right now. So there's no, Rich Swann did not appear on any AEW that I'm aware of, no Dynamites, none of that kind of stuff. So I don't even know if Impact even mentioned that this match, AEW have even mentioned that this match is happening this Sunday as far as Kenny Omega defending his title against the Impact champion. It may have, I may have lost it a couple things along the way, but there's no way Kenny Omega loses the Impact title to Rich Swann. Not happening. Can Kenny Omega win the Impact World title? Of course, we've already seen Kenny Omega show up and have a couple matches. I believe that he is going to win, obviously, in this match. There's also the chance that there can be a weird double DQ, a non-finish, where nobody loses their title. That would be a really crappy end to the pay-per-view, and that would upset the fans in a big way, I believe, especially those that are going to drop some money in on this, and I hope you do, guys. Guys, Impact Wrestling, I think, is really doing some good stuff, really remarkable stuff lately, and I think it's worth your money. So please buy it. Please buy the pay-per-view. Don't bootleg it, even though you're not going to listen to me at all. I know you. But I can see, this is what I see happening. I see Kenny Omega winning the match, winning the Impact World Championship, because Moose came out on the Go Home show as well and drove the point home that Rich Swann better not lose the title or he's gonna get his ass beat, basically, is what happened, is what he said. So I believe we're going to end up getting the match that we thought we were going to get here, Kenny Omega versus Moose, which is going to be fantastic. I think this match is going to be great too. Don't get me wrong. But I think the big headline match that people are going to want to see, which I'm banking on happening at Bound for Glory, is going to be Kenny Omega versus Moose. I know that's a long ways out, but they have plenty of time to build this up. I believe it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Moose for the Impact World Championship, and Moose is going to do the unthinkable and beat Kenny Omega. That's a really outlandish thing to say. Looking at you, Zicky Dice. But that's what I'm going with. That's what I think is going to happen. So I know I kind of booked all the way through October, which is pretty crazy, but I'm thinking Kenny Omega gets the win here, drops the title to Moose down the line. We get another big Moose, Rich Swann feud in between to get us to that point. So, which, by the way, if you didn't see their match to get into this spot, you guys missed out. They had a very good match. You need to at least check it, find the highlights or something on YouTube if you can. But there you go. That is my Impact Rebellion predictions. I'm feeling pretty good about, I'd say 90% of this card. There's a couple things that I think can possibly trip me up. This tag team match, there could always be a reason for them to maybe Maybe just FinJuice wasn't doing anything yet, but they plan on doing stuff with them. So I'm kind of worried about this match. And I'm actually kind of worried about this match right here, this 8-man tag match. I picked the faces because if you notice, I picked a lot of heels. So I feel like I got to pick a couple of faces here and there. But again, the ACL tear out of Eric Young has me really questioning that match. And this match could also be a surprise too, but I think we just need a little bit longer run out of Fire and Flava. Maybe not too much longer. Maybe we get a couple good matches, just establish the titles a little bit more, and then they can drop them to another good tag team. So there we go. And of course, Jordynne Grace could take the pin here. It doesn't have to be the new girl, Rachael Ellering here. And it could be, we could always get a feud out of these two because Jordynne Grace she strikes me more as a, singles wrestler at this point. So who knows? But that is it, guys. I hope you are going to watch the pay-per-view this Sunday. I know I am going to be watching it, and I hope you guys pay for it. I hope you do. Impact Wrestling. This show is definitely going to be worth the price tag, which I believe is actually relatively cheap. Let's look this up real quick. All right, so it's $40 for the US. I don't know what it is, and usually it's cheaper in the other countries, but I'm paying it. I hope you guys pay it. Fight TV if you want to order it through there. Anyway, that's it. Not like I'm sitting here plugging stuff, but guys, check out Impact Rebellion, please. I think you'll be surprised. It'll be a very good show. So that's it. I'm Jake, aka Bomber. We'll see you on the next pay-per-view prediction video. I think we're going to improve our record quite well here. I think I got this card pretty nailed down. Can't breathe. So please subscribe also to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Try to let me know down below. Get in the comments. Who do you think is going to win? Do you think Rich Swann has any chance in hell to win this match? Because it might be above 0, but it's a 0.000001% to win this match. Clean. Okay? It's not happening. Okay? So that's it, guys. Thank you at Jobber Radio on Twitter, and we'll see you on the next video.